So excited. As you can imagine, I've been waiting about 8 months for this, finally getting into the full album, the full journey of Days of Future Past by the Moody Blues from 1967. Of course, this is their second studio album and first concept album, marking a shift away from their previous R&B cover songs. The album tells the story of one man throughout the course of one full day. The final product was not the classical music that the record label expected, but one executive saw its potential and it was agreed upon to be released in this form. Thank God. 4 of the 5 band members provide lead vocals here. I think that's really cool. I remember adoring the first 2 songs, so again, excited for the journey. I have a feeling I'm going to love it, especially because there's a full orchestra here, and you know what that does to me. Anyway, sit back, relax, grab a drink or snack if you wish, and let's time travel back to Days of Future Past. Go. Melodies from the heavens. Full of hope, bright morning vibes. Strings to die for. What a great bookend.
cold-hearted orb that rules the night removes the colors from our sight. Red is gray and yellow white, but we decide which is right and which is an illusion. Pinprick holes in a colorless sky let insipid figures of light pass by. The mighty light of 10,000 suns challenges infinity and is soon gone. Nighttime to some, a brief interlude, to others the fear of solitude. Brave Helios, wake up your steeds, bring the warmth the countryside needs.
Mike Pinder. So soft, so warm.
Dawn is a feeling, a beautiful ceiling. The smell of grass just makes you pass into a dream. You're here today, no future fears. This day will last 1,000 years. If you wanted to.
Mellotron, gorgeous.
You look around you, things they astound you. So breathe in deep, you're not asleep. Open your mind, you're here today.
Justin, I believe.
No future fears. This day will last 1,000 years if you wanted to.
Do you understand that all over this land there's a feeling? In minds far and near, things are becoming
Mike.
clear with a meaning.
That you're knowing, pleasure starts flowing. It's true, life flies faster than eyes could ever see. You're here today, no future fears. This day will last 1,000 years if you wanted to.
Total vibes of 50s musicals. Wow. So glad I haven't listened to those since the first reaction about 8 months ago, because they were new, they were fresh again, as fresh as the dawn. Just incredible. And if these were the only 2 songs on the album, it's like enough. It's nourishing enough. It's beautiful enough. But we have a long way to go. Wow. Both songs, of course, glorious from start to finish. The Day Begins, amazing. Very film score-esque, of course. You know, I mentioned musicals, film score, just pure glorious orchestra, you know, lush, dramatic, expressive music. I love that Nights in White Satin call forward. We get a bit of that melody to kind of foreshadow the full song, which I think happens in the final track, The Night. I really loved Mike Pinder's excellent speaking voice. It's deep, warm, and rich, just like Richard Burton's was. Wow, amazing. And then we move on to Dawn. Dawn is a Feeling. Wow, I didn't remember the melody being so solemn, so beautiful, and so deep. A nice contrast from song 1. Both vocalists, excellent. I'm pretty sure it said there were 2, Justin and Mike. They were both incredible, especially Justin. We love his voice. It's amazing. You know, the orchestra from the heavens doesn't get much better than this. All right, now on to new territory, new ground. Song 3, The Morning, Another Morning. Looks like we have Ray Thomas on lead vocals. Change up. Okay.
Balloons flying, children sighing, what a day to go kite flying. Breezes cool, away from school, cowboys fighting out a duel. Time seems to stand quite still in a child's world, it always will. Fishes biting, so exciting, lunchtime sounds so inviting, and the bill, he gets a thrill, sitting, watching, bobbing quill. Time seems to stand quite still in a child's
Very 60s.
Yesterday's dreams are tomorrow's sighs. Watch children play, they seem so wise. Today's a queen, $1,000 are a dreaming, cotton frocks and golden locks. Her palace is an orange box. Time seems to stand quite still in a child's world, it always will.
So much joy. Connecting the 2 sections with the melody. I love that all the music is so evocative of nature in this entire album, I'm guessing. Makes total sense. Such great artistic decisions. Wow, these guys are just amazing. Was kind of shocked by the beginning of this one. I got country vibes, and I definitely got big Beatles vibes throughout the whole song in some of those sounds and melodies. Also in the vocals, Ray Thomas, many shades of John Lennon. Am I wrong? That's kind of what I heard. That's why I thought of the Beatles, besides the music. But, a light, more simple song, very, very catchy, super fun. Wow. But then one big, huge turn, we get this dramatic orchestral turn, with a callback to the earlier fun melody. I really didn't expect that. That was cool, just tying everything together perfectly. It's just so great to hear all the orchestra instruments on full display here. Not every song that uses, orchestra uses the full. Sometimes we just get strings and woodwinds, but I'm hearing everything, the timpani, the strings, the brass, the woodwinds, the harp, the percussion, and more. Just truly a gift for my ears. Loving every second. They're incorporating everything beautifully. All right, let's move on. All right, on to lunch break, peak hour. Right in the middle of the day now. Wow, it's going fast. And we have our fourth and final vocalist, John Lodge. More musical vibes. Was that a repeat melody? Wow. Okay.
I see it all through my window, it seems, never failing like millions of leaves. All life is wrong, no time to be wrong, only to do what can be done. Be out, be out, be out. Minds are subject to what should be done. Problems solved, time cannot be won. One hour a day, 1 hour a night.
So 60s.
It makes me want to run
Okay, then. That was a huge surprise. There's been a few huge surprises, I think the last two songs, because, I guess I was expecting more just pure orchestra, pure moods, but the fact that they're changing things up and changing things up so dramatically with this fun 60s music, I don't know, I guess I didn't really anticipate that. I didn't know what to anticipate, but it's cool to have all these twists and turns on this journey, which kind of makes sense because one day can give you many twists and turns, and usually it does. Such expressive orchestral melodies going on here. And again, I love all those callbacks to the most amazing musicals of the 50s, 60s, etc. that I've heard. Just love that. Big, fast energy in this one. Had me moving, had me smiling. It was fun. It was frantic in the best way possible. I love that each song has, multiple sections, multiple songs within it, or at least almost all the songs do. Just gives for so much variety, like I mentioned. In the second half, amazing. Definitely more Beatles and maybe Monkees vibes, maybe even something from The Who. I just love those callbacks, those references that I'm getting. I love that all four vocalists sound different enough, yet, similar enough at the same time to make this a cohesive album vocally. It all works. Just love it. Many musical surprises, like I keep saying, especially in those last two songs. I have a feeling I'm going to get some more surprises before it's all over. But in this one, some great harmonies, some great falsettos going on by John, and it was super groovy through most of the song. Really love that pocket. All right, on to the afternoon. This time we have Justin Hayward and John Lodge on vocals. More Mellotron, yes please.
Tuesday afternoon, I'm just beginning to see. Now I'm on my way. It doesn't matter to me, chasing the clouds away. Find out why those gentle voices I hear explain it all with a sigh.
Back down. Down again. I like that.
I'm looking at myself, reflections of my mind. It's just the kind of day to leave myself behind. So gently swaying through the fairyland of love. If you would just come with me, you'll see the beauty of
Isn't this one of their famous ones? I know I've heard the title before.
Tuesday afternoon, I'm just beginning to see. Now I'm on my way. It doesn't matter to me, chasing the clouds away. Trees are drawing me near. out why those gentle voices I hear explain it all with a sigh.
Love that. One more. This is a busy day. Pure heaven.
Evening has come to pass. The time of day doesn't last. Evening has earned its place today. I'm tired of working working.
This has to be the darkest song, right?
It breaks.
Or the darkest section, I should say.
Only way to have those things. Toiling has brought too many tears. Turn round over last year. Evening time to get away. Evening time to get away.
A little bit of Mamas and the Papas.
Evening time to get away. Till next day. Live on,
Nice piano.
people. You can see where you're at. It doesn't really hurt you, so I can't be bad.
Nice percussion.
Live all you people, you can see where you're at. It doesn't really hurt you, so that can't be bad. Evening
Yeah, so a little confused on the first part of this one. I recognized what they were singing, Tuesday Afternoon, I believe, and that title sounds familiar. I was saying, is this one of their biggest songs or one of their famous songs? Yet when I look up the title, it's Forever Afternoon and then in parentheses Tuesday. So I'm not really sure if that's correct, if that's the true title, or if it's called Tuesday Afternoon, or if I'm just mixing it up with another band. But anyway, really liked the first song. It was much calmer. We did get some great groove on the first change up, but then they went back to that calm section. It was a nice, slower break in the album. We even get a break from the orchestra. You know, I love it. I wouldn't need a break, but it was nice. It was fine to get a break there. This one sounds like it was a single. We'll have to check, do a little more research on this specific part of this song. Then around the halfway mark, the orchestra is back in full force, kind of an interlude between the two sections, because we get real dark, real quick with Evening, Time to Get Away. Has to be one of, if not the darkest section of the album. Love that. You know, I didn't expect such darkness. Yes, there was some nice hills and valleys, nothing too dramatic. It kind of did end on a more livelier note. Didn't stay in that really dark pocket, but, you know, of course I'm going to love that dark pocket. I love all the elements of psychedelic music going on here. I heard, you know, Mamas and the Papas, so many other great 60s references, just a whole different era, a whole unique pocket. Yes, there's references, but they're their own thing. Add the orchestra, makes it even more unique. All right, we're at Full On Evening with the song Evening, and this time lead vocals are Mike Pinder and Ray Thomas. Bit exotic, love that.
When the sun goes down and the clouds all frown, night has begun for the sunset. See it with your eyes, earth re-energized by the sun's rays every day. Take a look out there, planets everywhere. When the sun goes down and the clouds all frown, night has begun for the sunset. Shadows on the ground never make a sound, fading away in the sunset. Night has now become day for everyone. See it all from this great height. I can feel the sun slipping out of sight, and the world still goes on through the night.
Kind of mystical, kind of tribal. Anthemic.
as fantasy strides over colourful skies, a form disappearing from view. In twilight time, dream with me a while. The nightingale plays a dark mellow phrase of notes that are rich and so true. An aerial display by the Firefly Brigade, dancing to tunes no one knew. In twilight time, dream with me a while. In twilight time, dream with me a while. Building castles in the air, whistling to the wind as nature bows down ahead. See what tomorrow brings. Twilight time, dream with me a while. Backstage to waiting like puppets on string, prancing through cool evening air. In a sightless glide, no reason to hide, away from the sun's blinding stare. In twilight time, dream with me a while.
Here we go again. You know I'm a big lover of orchestra. This album is truly an orchestra lover's dream. I'm just in heaven with all these small moments they're adding, like the last, 20 or 30 seconds of that one with the orchestra, worth the price of admission alone. We also start out the song with a big orchestra moment and then a whole new vibe. You know, they just keep surprising me over and over and within each song. We get an exotic, slow groove to this one, just so different. Interesting percussion and drumming, almost experimental in places, unique vocal processing. I loved it all. And again, so different than each section, each song we've heard before. Yet, they all tie together. This whole album is full orchestra intoxication and twist and turn overload. Might as well be Lombard Street and San Francisco. In this song, I think the exotic music perfectly matches the exotic and mysterious nature that the night can sometimes or often bring. I can only assume that people must have played this album to death in the 60s especially and beyond, and I'm sure many substances were taken to enjoy this album. I mean, I'm enjoying it here completely sober. I can only imagine. Wow, what a journey so far. We got one more to go. And so naturally we end with the song titled The Night, split into two sections. Of course, the first part, the amazing Nights in White Satin, such an iconic song. Of course, I've heard it. I think I even reacted to it, a live version, way back in the days on my channel. And of course, the amazing Justin Hayward on vocals, and some Mike Pinder in some spoken word at the very end of the song, it looks like. Let's get into it.
Nights in white satin, never reaching the end. Letters I've written, never meaning to send. Beauty I'd always missed with these eyes before. Just what the truth is, I can't say anymore, 'cause I love you. Yes, I love you. Oh, I love you. Gazing at people, some hand in hand, just what I'm going through, they can understand. Some try to tell me thoughts they cannot defend. Just what you want to be, you will be in the end. And I love you. Yes, I love you. Oh, I love you. Oh, in white satin, never reaching the end. Letters I've written, never meaning to send. Beauty I've always missed with these eyes before. Just what the truth is, I can't say anymore, 'cause I
sure I haven't heard this part.
Breathe deep the gathering gloom. Watch lights fade from every room. Bedsitter people look back and lament. Another day's useless energies spent. Impassioned lovers wrestle as one. Lonely man cries for love and has none. New mother picks up and settles her son. Senior citizens wish they were young. Cold-hearted orb that rules the night. Remove
Nice
the
lyric.
colours from our sight. Red is grey and yellow white. But we decide which is right and which is an illusion.
And just like that, the journey's over. I'm so happy they gave us this huge explosive ending in those final notes of the orchestra. So fitting, but that gong, a nice surprise. They reverbed the heck out of it, kept going and going and going to slowly take me down from this immense, varied, surprising, and gorgeous journey of an album. I noticed I wrote the word perfect a lot in my notes for this final song. A perfect song, a perfect album, a perfect journey. Of course, I've known Nights in White Satin forever. Who knows when I first heard it, probably in the 80s. But it was nice to hear it in its full glory. I'm sure I've never heard this version, or at least not the whole version, only what was played on TV or the radio back in the day. Of course, it's moody, it's dark, calmingly urgent. I adored that gorgeous flute solo and the melody that was being played. Just amazing. This song alone has so many perfect peaks and valleys. It's such a ride, this one song. And then put it in the context of this whole album. Wow, just mind-blowing. Such an iconic song here. Perfect vocals by Justin, as you know. Perfect vocal lines written for Justin. More glorious orchestra coming in and out of this song. If only I could time travel, I would sit in on this recording session of this beautiful orchestra. It was a perfect, beautiful decision to have those amazing vocals, the spoken vocals of Mike Pinder at the beginning and the very end of this album. Just, to signify the start and end to this epic journey of an epic day. I told you I love the tone of his voice. I could listen to him talk literally for hours. And then they send us off with one more big, explosive, beautiful orchestra moment. And again, that reverb gong, a nice surprise. This is exactly how you do a concept album, perfectly, gorgeously, and brilliantly. What a journey. Thank you for coming on it with me for my first time. Wow. I heard the first two songs 8 months ago, fell in love, but I can see, since this is all tied together, why you really need to hear it from start to finish, and it was a perfectly satisfying, rewarding journey today. As always, with the first listen, I'm sure I missed a lot, but, can't wait to lay back, hear it all, enjoy it all, savor it all, discover more. The album as a whole, the journey as a whole, all the amazing artistic decisions, all the talent that went into this, all that is clearly worthy of at least the double Epic Platinum Record Award. And that's what I'll give it for now. Wow, I loved it, but I knew I would. So thank you so much to the amazing Justin Hayward, John Lodge, Mike Pinder, Ray Thomas, Graham Edge, the London Festival Orchestra, simply brilliant, stunning in every way, and Peter Knight for conducting and arranging that glorious orchestra. All right, that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching with me. I really love this one. Anyway, you take care, stay safe, and as always, I'm wishing you much peace, love, light, and blessings every day. I'll see you real soon.